During the fantasy football season in the next few weeks here. Here's a few quarterbacks I think will have breakout seasons this year. The first guy, Derek Carr of the Las Vegas Raiders. I mentioned Carr in earlier videos that have come out that he's a guy definitely would target in fantasy drafts, and he's going anywhere from the 10th to the 11th round. But now to get former college teammate Davante Adams, one of the best wide receivers in all of football, and his offense is a big thing. To go with a Josh Jacobs, even though there's been rumors he might get traded. You got Hunter Renfrow over there. You got Darren Waller. So they got a great offense over there, is this Vegas Raider team. And last season, Derek Carr still put up decent numbers, 4,804 yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 14 in those, 108 rush yards, and 5 fumble losses. So right now, I think this season he could have a 5,000-yard season, over 30 touchdowns total, and his ADP is very great this season. I think he breaks out, especially with a talent like a Davante Adams. Obviously, Adams, I don't think he'll put up the same exact numbers like he did in obviously Green Bay, where Rodgers, I think, is a better quarterback than Carr. But this season, I think Carr could finish the year in the top 8, top 10 for fantasy quarterbacks. And he's definitely a guy who's going to break out this year as long as he stays healthy. The next quarterback's Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's another quarterback I like a lot this season here. Right now, he's going 7th, 8th round range in most fantasy drafts. So last season for Hurts, 3,144 pass yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, but he did add 784 rush yards with 10 rushing touchdowns. So last season, not the greatest of years passing the football, but now he gets a true number one wide receiver in A.J. Brown that they traded for this Eagle team in the offseason. And sky the limit here, I think, for Jalen Hurts. He was good last season for the most part, getting those extra 7 to 10 fantasy points on the ground. And I think this year he'll do similar numbers on the ground, 600-700 yards rushing, 5-6 touchdowns at least. And he's going to throw for more yards, 3,500 to 4,000 yards, I believe, here, and 20 to 25 passing touchdowns. So right now this offense is pretty loaded as well over there in Philly. You got A.J. Brown, you got Dallas Goedert at tight end, got Devonta Smith, Jalen Reagor, and you got Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield. So it's a well-rounded offense. NFC East isn't good at all, really, I think, here. 8 or 9 wins might win this division. And right here, Jalen Hurts, he has a breakout season for sure. The next guy, Russell Wilson of the Denver Broncos. So Wilson, the last couple seasons, the numbers have gone down. But now he's going to Denver over here. And another quarterback I like a lot and mentioned in my other video as a guy to target. Last season was a down year for Wilson, even though still put up mediocre numbers. 3,113 pass yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 in those, 183 rush yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, a 2-point conversion, and a fumble loss. So last season in Seattle, it just wasn't clicking for that team. And I know they had a good offense with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Gerald Everett, Rashad Penny, and Carson before he went down at running back. But right now this season in Denver, it's a younger team and a rejuvenated team as well. And they're going to run a quick offense over there, the reports are coming out. So you got Wilson, Javonte Williams, and Gordon in the backfield. And you got good receivers in Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, who I think have big seasons as well this year here. So right now, Russ, he's going 7th, 8th round. He's going to put up numbers, and he was always he's a low turnover guy, and I think that's going to continue this season. So Russell Wilson, another quarterback that bounces back and has a breakout year. The next guy, Mac Jones of the New England Patriots. So Mac Jones, I had him in my sleeper column of the videos, but I think he breaks out as well with this Patriot team. You don't have to look over his shoulder for a Cam Newton or anyone else, even though last season he didn't. And now he's definitely got the reins here in his third season. Last year, 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 129 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions. So right now, offense is more of a run-first type of offense and built on defense. But you got Devontae Parker, who's a pretty good weapon. You got decent tight ends in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. And Jacoby Myers, he's had a decent seasons over the last few years as well. So Mac Jones in his third year here in the NFL, I think he gets it going a little bit. And even though I know right now things don't look good in training camp itself out here, and that division has mediocre teams. The Jets, they're going to win 6 or 7 games. Dolphins, I know their offense is loaded, but they could go either way. And the Bills, we saw last season versus a decent offense, they will give up points, but win a lot of ball games in shootouts. So I think Mac Jones takes the next step this season, and he's a quarterback that will break out for fantasy owners. And the final quarterback I think could break out this year is Mitchell Trubisky of the Pittsburgh Steelers to Trubisky. I'm not saying to draft him, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if he breaks out. This will be the best offense that Trubisky's ever been in. We know with the Chicago, it just didn't work out, and he was a high pick with Trubisky. But now he goes to Pittsburgh, filling in for Big Ben, who retired finally after a good career for Ben. Trubisky here, he's going undrafted in a lot of fantasy leagues, but they got good weapons right now. Is this Pittsburgh Steelers offense? You got Deontay Johnson, you got Chase Claypool, even though he had a bad season. You got Pat Fairmouth, who I think's a breakout tight end as well. And you got Najee Harris, who's going to be a bulldozer back there in the backfield. So Trubisky right now, he's going to be a guy that's most likely going to be the start of the season, or he might even be the backup to start the season behind Kenny Pickett. But right now, I think the Steelers going the season with the veteran quarterback. Last season, he was the backup to Josh Allen, and maybe learned some things from Allen, who's one of the best quarterbacks already in the league in his first 3 or 4 seasons. So Trubisky with good weapons and a good offensive line here. I think he could have a good season, and he could get things done. He definitely could break out. He's not a guy I'm saying to target, but as a breakout candidate from other seasons where he really struggled, it's definitely a chance where he could do that. So that's a few quarterbacks I think could break out here for fantasy football in the upcoming season, and guys to look at in your fantasy drafts coming up in the next few weeks.